Welcome to Vibes of India. I'm Janvi and we are here to celebrate the season of love. Whenever we hear this word love, we tend to associate it with a person, a place, or a thing. But today, we would want to explore the deeper side of it. We are going to talk about self-love. I'm sitting with Surabhi Mehta, image consultant, lifestyle blogger, and founder of brand Zanzibar. Welcome, Surabhi, to Vibes of India.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and Surabhi, please tell us your idea of love, and especially of self-love.
So, I always believe that, we've grown up with this whole fantasy around the word love. But in my opinion, we always search for love outside ourselves, whether it be an experience, whether it be our work life, our companion that we may have, children, love interest, any things that, we get attached to materialistic, things around us. But I'm a firm believer now, with a lot of experience behind me, that it starts from filling your own cup of love. So if your own cup is not brimming to the top, it will be very difficult for you to then share it.
Give it.
So how do we do that? I mean, I think one of the many things that I've learned in my journey is that take out few moments for yourself during every day. It's not like, once a month I'm going to do this for myself. Every day. And that is, in fact, equivalent to a session of meditation, right?
True.
So it's your quiet time, and it does not necessarily have to be a quiet time for everybody. Somebody likes to meditate through sports. Somebody likes to dance or read a book or walk their dog. So that can also be a meditative space, and then that in turn fills you up with
so that you can
self-nurture, and then that's how you give yourself love, and then that's how you are able to again share that with circumstances around you. Your environment then flourishes.
And
so
when did this idea of love evolve for you? And how did it happen?
Don't we all fall in love so many times, right? So I think right from my teenage years, I guess, I've been in and out of love, right? We've had different experiences that was difficult to sustain that feeling of love, right?
It comes and just...
Yes. So the concept of love, I think, is very personal to everybody's journey. But at the same time, you should not give up on love. We should not. And learn to find love in the little things that you do every day. Even if you're making a little sandwich for yourself, it should be with love.
True.
Right? So, and if you ask me when it changed, I don't know if there was a particular moment where, today I woke up and, I
there
thought
was self-love.
It wasn't really like that. But I think you tend to sort of see things in a different way as you grow older, or you nurture a family, and then you see how many other people around you are actually sort of banking on you for your support all the time. And how do you give that kind of support to an existing family unit or a business 24/7 if you yourself are not nurtured, right? So that's something, and then you can get drained out very fast.
It is burnout.
That's a burnout. So I think when I started doing different things, like different aspects of my job profile, whether it be image consulting or running an e-commerce website, or blogging, traveling for my blogging, and managing a family, and different responsibilities that a lot of women like us have, I realized that, stop if you have to stop, take a moment, and then do whatever you do. If you can't finish it, it's okay, but pause, see where things are going wrong, and that itself for me translates to love, because if you're not giving your 100% in everything that you're doing, the end result is not going to be satisfactory for anybody. The person receiving and the person giving.
True. And are there any practical aspects of self-love that you practice and then you can advise other people also to practice?
Like I mentioned before, for me, I love to walk my dog.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love to bathe him, scrub him down. So that really brings me a lot of peace somehow. I love my workouts.
Okay.
Yeah. I
7 days a week?
not quite, maybe five.
Okay.
5 days a week, yes. And yeah, work and balancing everything, and so
True.
that gets by. That gives me a lot of, and I love cooking.
Okay.
I cook my own food. I wake up early and I put in my energy source into the food that I eat, rather than depending on others to cook meals for me. So that's something I started about a couple of years ago,
And
and it's helped me a lot.
Okay.
It really has, and it really takes only 15-20 minutes if you really think about it.
Yeah.
But those are some of the things that I've adapted into my lifestyle, is cooking for myself, sort of nurturing my pet and nurturing my body. And when my body is nurtured, your mind, body and soul tends to get sort of elevated.
True.
Yes.
And was there anyone or anything that helped you in this journey of self-love? Like maybe a person or a book or a place, like anyone who became a catalyst of sorts?
I think COVID.
Okay. That's interesting.
COVID. Because we were all sort of huddled together inside, and when I've never experienced a point in my life where everything came to a full stop, right? Like everything is just no go. So what do you do with yourself?
Yeah.
And in the past, I've been a flight attendant for 11 years, and I had a very fast-paced life. So, and I travel a lot. And so for a person like me, when I was hit with this total sort of living in a box situation with no
Where to go?
Or nothing to kind of inspire me, and I'm like a sponge, I can get inspired by the littlest of things, and the monotony was getting so difficult for me as a person. But it forced me to go inwards and see, okay, where have I been so far? What have I been doing with myself? What can I do to kind of improve myself and live to my higher potential? How do I do that?
Do that. True.
So I said, okay, what can I do? Can I walk a little bit more? Can I read a little bit more? Can I maybe have more conversations with the elders in my family, or cook some more? Like I think a lot of people in this world suddenly started becoming cooks, right? You saw so many videos and everything. But I actually started cooking, and I continue that even today. I haven't stopped.
Okay.
So I said, okay, let me,
Continue it.
Yeah. So, because we tend to go on, life goes on like autopilot, right?
Yeah.
So there's no
just
opportunity.
hibernating.
Yeah, there's no opportunity for us to actually take stock.
Yeah.
So I would say that that period of my life was
Changed
definitely
everything.
a catalyst for me to kind of check myself and my environment and my quotient of happiness, my quotient of love, my quotient of fitness, everything. I wanted to self-reflect.
Okay.
So I chose that time, and I think it worked. And it was forced upon. It was not
conscious decision.
It's sounding very maybe very cheesy and like but to actually go inwards is not an easy process, because you have to look at your shadow self also.
Darker sides.
The darker sides also, that okay, where am I going as far as my, like I said, potential is. Am I living up to my potential?
True.
Yeah.
And Surabhi, to start anything is easy, but to continue it is the tough job. So
Yes.
how did you do that?
A lot of my friends say that I have a lot of determination, and I'm very sort of strict on myself. But I wouldn't call it strict. But yes, I think because of my previous job profile, we get into a sort of a disciplined lifestyle.
Okay.
Right? So it's like talking to anybody who's been with the forces, or my job also, of course, there's this a different profile altogether. But mine had also, very regimented time performances and, reaching on time, performing on time. Everything was,
lot of pressure.
Yes. So I think, ingrained that somehow. And I do have discipline. Yes, I do. So I think there is no other way but to make up your mind and say, okay, I'm going to do this, and come what may, I'm going to do it. And then, of course, be ready to face the roadblocks. So I have started Zanzibar living. It's a COVID baby. But I've had so many roadblocks. I really have. It kind of takes off a little bit, and then it's like an aborted takeoff, and then again you land because there's another, sort of COVID variant hitting. But I'm not giving up. I said, let me ride this through. I'm sure there'll be like more opportunities, and every day you win some, you lose some.
True.
So if you take it in that spirit, I think it's easier to sort of push ahead.
True.
Yeah.
And also tell us that many a times women, especially mothers, face this guilt. Like if I'm taking time for myself, or if I'm doing something for myself, there is an inherent guilt involved, and which is very wrong of women to face that. But have you experienced that?
Luckily not.
Okay.
Luckily not, because I've had a very
supportive ecosystem or a family that.
Yeah, but we have to create it, right?
Yeah.
So how do you create that? So I think I strongly believe in having effective communication, or try to have effective communication with my family unit, where you're there for them, but it's not that you give up everything that you desire to do, just to be there, and then maybe they don't need you at that time, so you're still sitting there, right? So I think effective communication of what you would want to do, and lay down certain ground rules, and lay them at an age, and have consistent conversations, I feel.
Okay. Conversation is the key.
Yes. So if you communicate and you have that conversation with your family and say, today I would like to do this. I hope you can manage this. So delegation also plays a huge role.
True.
Right? So, and I think it's harder in our society because it's been ingrained that certain people in the family will do this, and this one does only this, and that one only does that. But I've tried my level best to sort of maneuver my way out of that. But I do straight up tell my family if I need a day or two away, or if I'm not feeling quite right, and I'm not in the best of spirits, they have to understand me the way I would understand them.
True.
Yeah. So I think having constant communication and talking about it, and not kind of holding back your feelings, for the sake of everybody else, is not a good idea, because at the end of the day, all your emotions will create a little,
True.
sort of,
and then will pile up and maybe
pile up. Yeah. Absolutely. I believe that so much, because, and I encourage my children also to do that. I said, if you're feeling in a certain way, let's talk about it.
True.
So, and I try to do that in all spheres of my life, whether it be with my friends or my office colleagues, or with my children, with my family, with my staff. I was like, if there's something bothering you, let's talk it out. There's nothing like a good talk out.
True.
Right? I'm sure we come to some conclusion, right? Rather than just zipping up and not saying anything.
And before you started on this journey of self-love, was there a moment of burnout, or was there a moment of just breaking down? Like, because that also teaches you a lot. Like that experience is also important. So did you face?
I think I faced it a number of years ago, when I completely stopped working, and I was a full-time mother, and I was not used to playing that role in its entirety, and not have anything else that was giving me sort of mental stimulation. So I came to a point where I was just absolutely loving it, and then one day I said, no, I have to
do more.
I have to do something which kind of
Stimulates
gives me,
you,
gives me, So I did have a phase like that, but it was quite a number of years ago. And luckily, I jumped back straight into volunteering with their school and going back to studying. And so I didn't stop because I feel it's not always that you have to earn something. It's working is not only about earning.
It's about what it gives you, like something
so
very
I
internal
said,
for
okay,
the person.
fine, maybe I'm not ready to go out and take a job, but I can definitely volunteer, or things like that. So I started like that.
Okay, true.
And then one story unfolded into the next, and I think it was only because I allowed things to unfold naturally.
True. It's a gradual and natural process.
Yeah, so it was not very meditated or very thought out, and some people would think otherwise, that no, this happens and then children happen and then this happens, and so my life has not been so sort of clear cut, and especially my work wise, because I think I feel I have been able to go with the flow.
Okay.
So if I was able to go with the flow, then I was ready to perceive whatever came next and deal with it. Yeah.
Great. And lastly, just tell us, self-love is a gradual process. So is there anything else that you would want to imbibe or you would want to do to just make your life happier?
So I recently did this hiking trip when I went to visit my son in the United States. And I never really loved the mountains as much, or I didn't think I loved the mountains as much. And when I spent a few nights up in the mountains, and I realized that this is something which brought me so much happiness. And I always thought I'm a beach person and I love the beach, and mountains are not my thing. But so my suggestion would be is to try out. Sometimes you don't know, you'll surprise yourself.
True.
Yeah.
Like twist in the plot.
Yes. So I look forward to doing more of that. Enjoying the climb up, so rather than just relaxing on the beach, which is what I've loved doing all these years. So, but it somehow feels like very sort of, you feel accomplished because you
like climbed
up, right?
Yeah.
So that was something new for me as a person, and I hope to do more of that.
More of that, true.
Yes.
And push the envelope in your own ways.
Yes.
Yeah. Great.
So it's 2022.
Yeah.
That's
your goal. True. Thank you, Surabhi, for sharing your journey. We wish you more happiness and self-love in your life.
Thank you.
And for more such interviews, keep watching Vibes of India. Thank you.